You're now tuned in to the Paul Kinebrew Show. I got my special guest today. I got Brother Julius, and I got the very beautiful, intellectual, child phenom, Dr. Desha. How you doing today, sister?
Man, I am doing amazing, and I love your intro. Shouts out to that. I need all that energy.
You quite welcome. Dr. Desha, please tell the people that you're a child genius. You was going to college at a very young age. Can you tell us more about that?
So, it's interesting because growing up, I knew two things from a scholastic standpoint. I knew that I could read really well,
Okay.
and I had the ability to write persuasively.
Okay.
And all the other areas were kind of sketchy after the
Mhm.
seventh grade, science and math. But for the most part, I knew that I could do the basics. And so when I was in middle school, I had some bad association, had some trouble, and my mom was like, look, you know what? I really wanted to keep you homeschooled and kind of keep you focused.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. And because I was homeschooled, I went through a program. My homework was written like back and forth through the mail.
Mhm.
Took me about 6 months. After that, I was done with high school. I wanted to go to work because I knew that we had some limited means,
Mhm.
and I wanted to have whatever I wanted, the phones, the chucks, the whatever.
Right.
And so I got a full-time job at the airport,
Okay.
the Kentucky airport, Cincinnati, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But um, after I had gotten to it with the management of another store that visited my particular store, my grandfather sat me down. He said, look, you are a black woman.
Right.
You need to go to college,
Mhm.
period.
Right.
I said, okay, well, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
And we didn't have too much of a lengthy conversation. I didn't even know anything about, what it meant to have scholarships or much guidance. I took my ACT, scored what I scored, and I stayed closer to home because
Mhm.
I was so young and I didn't want to, like, if I got into trouble, I wanted to be able to go straight home.
You're a homebody.
No, actually, um, I would say I'm a ambivert. So when I'm
Okay.
out, I'm out.
Mhm.
I'm with the people. I might be the most livest person in the room.
Mhm.
But in some situations, I notice that if I need to recharge,
And be an introvert.
I will be that all day.
Okay.
Right? So I could be at a party with a book in
Right.
a corner. But once I put that book down, you say, okay, they should, you have the mic, you have the stage. The
Mhm.
stage is mine. I'm owning it.
Right.
And I'm going to connect with every person that's in that room.
It's beautiful. Being a sister of color,
Ooh.
right? Have you dealt with any discrimination in the workplaces that? Because you have an extensive, I looked at your bio. Your resume is kind of, you got a thick resume. So, have you ever dealt with like sexual harassment in the workplace, and how do you deal with that?
So, yes.
Mhm.
And mainly, I would say it would be sexual harassment before it would be a race thing.
Mhm.
I think for me growing up, I was always around different cultures.
Okay.
So, there may have been things subliminally that could have been, determined as racism or, just kind of ignorance. But I would just say that because I'm in industries that are still very much male dominated,
Mhm.
that oftentimes the way that decisions are made or who ends up on certain projects or who do we give the most money to,
Mhm.
it mostly is still very centered around males. And for me, I knew I had to be the one to speak up and say, where are the women
Mhm.
on this?
Right.
And even reverse, right? So yes, I'm a black African American female.
Right.
I also want to know, okay, so who on this project or who's white, who's Hispanic, who's
Mhm.
Asian,
You want diversity.
across the board.
Right. You for the equality.
I'm for the because for me it's a human race
Right.
and we're all just cousins.
Right. Right. Right.
So I knew that I couldn't just kind of force feed or have a training or I had to make sure that I was that living example.
Gotcha.
And as far as sexual harassment, sure, young people, pride, ego, fleshly desires, and then, like I said, entertainment, media. Oftentimes, you know, your women are in these submissive service type of roles.
Right.
And so what that person probably practices in their personal life, it just shows up at work. So yeah, that's.
You feel some females are intimidated by the title of the board of directors, and they have to be submissive in order to progress in their field?
At times.
Okay.
I think that there are cases of code switching to an extent that I think some females are uncomfortable with. And also, you got to realize, too, is that it's not just, you know, I'm a woman or I'm a woman of color. Like, you have to be okay with yourself overall.
Right.
And so sometimes you're even second guessing, well, am I even qualified for this job? Or, you know, we're taking on new ventures and new heights. Like, am I really ready for this? So if you're doubting yourself and you're doubting your capabilities, it doesn't help, too, if somebody also feels because of your race or because of your gender that, you know, you shouldn't be a part or you shouldn't be able to rise to the occasion.
Copy. Tell the people about the company you established in 2010.
So it started out, it's funny, I knew two things: that I needed to pick up the phone and I needed to pay my taxes.
Okay.
For the fact that there were companies out there willing to hire me to be their storyteller, the face of their brand, the educator. And I was doing this at music festivals and just huge events for everybody from Walmart to Kroger's, Shell. I think I was a Ciroc girl. Like, I've had so many different brands that I've done that for.
Right.
And I noticed that I would come back home, or I would come back to, you know, some of the other companies within the neighborhoods. I'm like, okay, well, you guys may not be able to pay the price tag to be a part of those big events.
Okay.
But how's your Facebook?
Right.
What's Facebook? Okay.
Right.
Did you guys do Google Ads? You know, you have this huge event. Like, what's going on?
They're not getting the word out.
Did you come to the colleges? Did you flyers?
Right.
Tickets? Something?
Right.
So I felt that there was this opportunity gap.
Okay.
For somebody who was just curious and very passionate about making sure that the other businesses and the other creative people within my community were successful and that they were able to utilize the marketing tools that everybody had the ability to take care of. I mean, imagine it's 2010 and I'm going live.
Right.
It's 2010 and I'm somebody's social media manager even before it was cool to have a social media manager.
Right. So you're a visionary. You foresee the future.
Ahead of the game.
Right. You was way ahead of the curve.
So you have this pandemic that happens where people can't go anywhere, and I'm like, low key? Yes.
Right.
I couldn't wait because I literally have had a bit of almost a fight, not only professionally, and mind you, those businesses are ran by people who have certain, you know, belief systems and education, so I'm not faulting them.
Right.
But even in terms of how I wanted to complete my degree.
Okay.
So I knew that I was not going to be able to just sit still, that I wanted to travel the world and apply the knowledge as soon as I learned it.
Right.
And I had talked to some of my professors and some of the people in my colleges, like, hey, is there a way that I'm able to take these classes online? Or, you know, am I able to do that? Well, you know, these online schools really aren't respected. And
They're not accredited?
All of that.
Okay. All the semantics and antics.
And I get it, right? Because even, you know, you're calling me a visionary. They were a visionary.
Right.
And it's almost like entrepreneurship and being a visionary as a whole requires you to have a bit of endurance
Mm-hmm.
because you really are that person that's going to have that foresight.
Right.
May not be today, may not be tomorrow.
It's 10 years from now. It's like me now. Like,
It
it's my vision. You don't have to see it. You're not supposed to see it.
wasn't for you.
Right. But when I build the pyramid, then I get it
Oh.
now. I knew what he was doing.
I believe in you.
Right. So,
I knew him way back then.
right. Now you know of me.
Right.
Right.
That's hilarious.
What clients do you prefer to work with?
Ooh. You know, it's interesting because I think at first it was like, okay, who has the most amount of money
Okay.
to pay for these big ideas?
Right.
But then it turned into the realization that it's those who are connected to their craft and their community.
Mm-hmm.
It's those who realize the impact of what they do. So they strive every day to become masters of it,
Right. Right.
to feed everybody around them,
Okay.
and to give them opportunities. And so, my target personas, right, are
Uh-huh.
the creator Courtneys,
Okay.
right? They're 25 to 40. They make less than $100,000. They're beyond talented,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they have great ideas.
Do you feel that you need the 10,000 hours of practice to be a master in your craft? You think
Of course.
it's necessary?
It's required.
Okay.
And those 10,000 hours don't stop even once you get there. I think it's it's funny. I almost say that because us as humans may not necessarily go out and literally crunch 10,000 hours,
Right.
the point of the matter being is you are obsessed
Mm-hmm.
about the ins and outs, the highs and lows of whatever it is that you want to do and be a part of.
Right. Do you feel women in your field need a mentor, or did you have a mentor?
Everyone needs a mentor.
Okay.
Unless you come out the womb with Jesus insight on your craft.
Okay.
And even then, he was like, what, Father, give me the strength, right?
Right.
Like, everybody needs a mentor.
Okay.
That was funny.
Why did you get into social work?
So, my grandparents are huge advocates for that field. My grandfather, he's been a professor for, I think, more years than we have all been alive.
Okay.
And him and his wife have just spent their whole life making sure that communities are better because they have that mental health or they have the counseling. And they've also been very instrumental in making sure that people of color get into that, because when you go out to seek help,
Right.
it's ideal from somebody that understands where you come from.
Make a hell of
Okay.
a lot of sense.
So, the drug abuse in the African American community. How do you feel about it?
I'm starting to have more empathy
Okay.
and understanding about where it comes from. Growing up and just experiencing certain things just within my parents or within my community, I couldn't quite understand how people could put so much on the line for a feeling or an object or a moment in time. But again, your mental illnesses, your wanting to experience something that's calmer than yourself, bigger than yourself, you're looking for that relief, or it's so much of a habit and it's so ingrained in you.
I'm gonna elaborate to what you just said.
Sure.
I'm trying to escape, Dr. Desha.
Woo, where are you going?
Nowhere.
Hey.
I have these bills. I have relationship issues. I have oppression from work,
Okay.
and I'm just trying to escape.
Ooh.
People have 9 to 5s, and they just trying to make it to Friday so they can hit the bar.
You're right.
And then Sunday, I repent, and then Monday, here we go again.
Woo. have redemption on your mind. Yes.
Always. You know, they said we're born in sinful flesh.
Of
So,
course.
so no one's perfect.
Yes.
You know, I'm the devil's advocate here.
All day.
Right. You see, don't stone Brother Paul to death, you know.
I like how she's trying to get that light out
I
the way.
really, cause it's like glaring on. But you know what? It's
It never.
because
It didn't do
But
that.
you're looking beautiful, though. You see?
it's real angelic.
Right. Your makeup is popping. You just, you know,
It didn't do that for Derek though.
it's a man.
It's
She's glowing right now. You know what I'm
So,
saying? Don't stop her glow.
The light is brighter since she came.
Sister's glowing right now. You know, she's really popping right now. So you let the sister glow,
Yeah.
you know? Do you prefer supervision or you can just run the show by yourself? You don't need leadership.
check in with me
Okay.
periodically.
Uh-huh.
Ideally, though, on my end,
Right.
I would be of best service to both of us
Mhm.
if I kept everybody abreast of what was going on.
Right.
But micromanagers irritate my soul.
Right. Don't tell me I'm educated. Don't tell me how to do my job.
Well, not only that, if you're over my shoulders every 5 minutes, if you ask me about something, you stop what I'm doing, you ask me if I'm finished, and then you tell me how much I'm not really finished.
Right.
I can only do one thing at a time.
Mhm.
So I think where kind of people get it misconstrued is just because you are great at your job or you're great at what you do, that you must all of a sudden have 10 arms.
Right. So like lawyers want to be real estate agents and accountants and all that, or doctors want to be plumbers. You know, you that dude in what you do. You know, you the LeBron James, you know, Dr. Desha. You know, be the LeBron James of doctor. You know. Now you want to be a hairstylist and a makeup artist and a rapper. You know.
I mean, but some people do have multiple times, man.
I mean, I can walk and chew gum too, but I don't sit here and act like I can do everything. Listen, like, you're my photography dude,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know all the photography jargon and all the vocabulary, you know? So cinematic. I'm going to come to you. I don't know what that is. You understand? How do I adjust the camera? You know, but I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I know, because I'm Paul. No. I'm going to call Dr. Desha. Dr. Desha, listen. You know, I'm bugging out right now. You know, look, I need you to count to 10, take a deep breath, drink some water, woosah. You see? You come to the people that's masters in a profession.
That's true.
Right? And you let them do their job. And you just say, sister, help. Sister, I need some help. You know? And kill my ego.
Well, you know me, man. I always play devil's advocate.
It's all good.
The word I used earlier.
Right.
I always got to throw something out there that's strange.
The tagline for myself is I say, I'm your favorite problem solver.
Okay.
But in me being that and owning that, I also realistically know that I do not know everything. But best believe through my network, through research, just through pure curiosity, I will find the answer to your problems.
Gotcha.
And that's what it is. You have to be humble enough to research, delegate, and bring it all together when necessary.
Who is your favorite DJ to work with?
Ooh.
Top 5. Let's do top 5. I don't want to leave no one out, you know, because you've been doing this for more than 11 years, more than a decade. So I did a little research.
So of course, one of my first set of clients, and you know, I know he is resting peacefully because he passed away.
Right.
But DJ Scandal was amazing. He was a rapper. He had a radio show, and he held a weekly open mic for the artists and creatives in the city. And so that became their safe haven, their rehearsal space. Right. I mean, artist development times 10.
Okay.
And that was one of my first times really seeing what it meant to be a personality, have so many people confide in you, and then you be able to see the progress week by week of whatever guidance and whatever it is you're telling them. So that's definitely one. Of course, now I have a business partner, Mr. CSA 2K.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. He's definitely on the inspirational hip hop side, and so he's super cool. Let's see, who else?
You got 3 more.
Oh my goodness, I have 3 more. See, so one of my jobs last year was meeting as many industry professionals as possible and vetting them.
Right.
So I almost don't want to leave anybody else to be like, oh, you didn't shout me out as a DJ, and it's like,
Right.
we haven't done magic yet. But yeah.
Las Vegas Magic, the magic show in Vegas. You talking about?
Or Black Girl Magic. Or
Okay.
Lifetime Magic.
Right.
All those magic.
Lifetime.
How about favorite boxer? You can have a top 5. Like, come on, I like Muhammad Ali.
That's a lot.
Or who you like working with? Who's not difficult to work with?
All right, without names, tell a story.
Yeah, all right. Tell us a memorable story.
There was an artist
Okay.
that I didn't know anything about.
Mhm.
And one of my corporate sponsors asked me, they actually gave me a list of people, and they said, you know these people? You know, I get in contact with them?
Mhm.
Maybe.
Right.
And the one person that I thought was perfect for the project and the situation,
Mhm.
they had mentioned the corporate sponsor in their song.
Right.
And when I went to their page, it was easy for me to connect with their team.
Okay.
Cool. You know, look at God, right? So I reach out to the team.
Mhm.
We find a way to get together. I'm literally talking to them the morning that they're supposed to leave out to Atlanta. And the conversation was just so natural. Hey, this is what we've got going on. This is what we're doing.
Mhm.
The artists, I heard them mention this. We've got this project. This is the budget I'm working with.
Mhm.
And then Southern hospitality and the fact that we also had commonalities in other industries.
Mhm.
I think it was like government and tech and a few other things. And we just clicked
Right.
to the point that I can call them
Mhm.
anytime. And anytime they're in the city, that's what it is.
Gotcha.
So for me, I think the favorite type of people that I work with is we get it instantly.
Right.
And they're consistent
Uh-huh.
in who they are, what they do, and they know their strengths and their weaknesses. And they just want to make sure that we communicate and check in and build that trust and relationship with one
So
another.
it's basically people who work without working. So they enjoy what they do, so it's really easy to flow.
Gotcha. For the inspiring artists, right?
Sure.
How important is branding? That's marketable.
If you're in a world that has 20 million artists, I think it's 28 million in the U.S.,
Uh-huh.
what makes you special?
Right.
What makes you unique? What is your why?
Mhm.
Who do you have the most impact
Right.
for your music? And developing your brand, developing your sound, and knowing who it is that truly is going to connect with you, that laser sharp focus and insight is really the beginning to separating the haves and the have-nots within the industry.
Beautiful. What type of music do you listen to?
I love all different types of music. For me, it's funny. On the way here,
What you bumping in the car?
oh my goodness! I mean, I had to skip through because I wanted my mood to be right when I jumped in this seat.
Okay.
But it was like everything from Backstreet Boys to
I'm-
Neo
Okay.
to Waka Flocka,
Right.
Roosters in My Right. Like it was literally a good song is a good song.
Right.
And they all have these amazing structures and chords. Like, there's a science and an art
Right.
to what makes a good song in any genre.
You ain't
That's
gonna
true.
believe what I listened to yesterday.
What's this?
So when I try to zone out and escape the world, I'll put on like the Mozart or the Beethoven. I'll put on the classical in a minute. You see?
Love it.
Right.
Word?
Yeah, I don't look like it, but you have to be versatile. You
It-
see, if I sample a Mozart song, 90% of people wouldn't know. But somebody that studies classical music, oh, he studied Mozart. This guy's a genius. So that's why I listen to Mozart.
You know,
Back to what she was saying. You
Oh, Mr. Trap Jazz.
shout out to him.
Shout out to him. You talk about real musicians.
Uh-huh.
This man, now he gets on me because I listen to a lot of old school music. But when I tell you, he is beyond fire. And y'all have to see him and his band live. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
no,
So-
I was about to say this.
Go ahead.
You gotta say it too.
Sure.
The music I like listen to escape is R&B, old school R&B. From like it gotta be a certain song in the 70s,
Teddy Pendergrass,
the 80s. Yeah, I listen to that. I gotta listen to my mama.
Frankly Beverly and Mays.
If it ain't my mom, I'm gonna call it my mama R&B
Uh-huh.
and my daddy jazz.
Aretha.
No,
Aretha goes, so she
Right.
got vocals.
nah, I like that song. She came out in the 80s with "Get in My Car."
Okay.
Yeah,
Marvin Gaye. You a Marvin Gaye fan? Dr. Deja?
depends on what it is.
What time of night is this? Who am I next to?
Ooh, spicy.
It's so funny. My guys from Dallas on here,
Uh-huh.
they're talking about Bach and symphonies and cellos.
That's right.
For me, it's my mood. And it's so funny because a lot of times I'm creating like presentations and, now I'm working on scripts and books and different things like that. And I
Right.
literally have to set a playlist
Uh-huh.
to get me through that moment, or what is the soundtrack and vibe of that.
Gotcha.
So crazy. So Adele, I think she was on my mind the other day. I was trying to hit them notes.
Adele. Which song from Adele?
Oh my goodness.
Hello?
No. She had a James Bond theme song.
Oh, that recent one.
Right.
Yeah, that was fly.
Fire.
I ain't gonna lie, I like that song.
Dr. Deja, I want to touch on nutrition in the African American community. We not eating right. We have high blood pressure, hypertension. How do you feel about that?
It runs in my family,
Mm-hmm.
and so I am aware of what that looks like
Mhm.
and feels like. And, for me, I started doing marathons because my mom started walking more to make sure that she didn't have to take a pill.
Right.
And you can't look at somebody and say, okay, that person's healthy,
Mm-hmm.
because my family ranges from skinny to super thick.
Right.
So it literally was, okay, you're competing against genetics, activity, and your nutrition.
Mm.
And so being mindful of even what I cook with, or just the freshness of the meals, like, that's huge. And I realized that our bodies are able to produce based on what it is that we are putting inside of us.
Right. You are what you eat.
And I know for me, okay, so you have a 20-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're eating sweets or candy, because I like sweet things. I have a sugar addiction, respectively.
Okay.
But your body is not going to be able to process what it needs to from all of that.
Favorite cake?
I was thinking about this the other day because it's a mix of, I think it's red velvet, but the butter, things that are made with buttercream are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm bougie with my desserts.
Okay.
So I'm a creme brulee.
Ooh.
I prefer gelato.
Right.
It's not ice cream, it's gelato.
Gotcha.
Fancy
So
ice
so
cream.
so Cheesecake Factory is not in the question.
Cheesecake Factory is very doable. I love the options. Let's go to Intermezzo.
Okay.
There's even more of an array, and they're open until like 2 in the morning.
So Godiva is good? We can go to Godiva?
It was good. I'm with it.
Okay.
Okay. When we go
Duh.
on.
You ever had Junior Cheesecake?
Juniors?
Oh my goodness.
That's a New York thing, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Deja? I think they have one in
There's one in California.
I don't know if it's Fort Lauderdale. I think it's in Boca Raton. They have one. I think it's in Boca Raton.
Okay.
But it's like it's to die for.
Mm.
It's like I give you the cheesecake. I'm gonna propose right after. Like you go. I'm gonna just. Will you marry me? Like that's the proper moment to get it. You can get the sponsor too. It's a win-win.
That's the best thing about that place.
I'm telling you.
That's the only thing.
That's
I love
not
is
the
that
cheesecake that we had to walk.
Yup. Diddy made them walk for that.
Yeah,
That's how
for
good
the
this
dream.
cheesecake is.
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, so I know. Like I didn't want nothing else for a birthday gift, but the Junior, like for real.
Wow.
So I like Junior's cheesecake. I don't eat it anymore, but I like they have a German chocolate cake that is
Chocolate's good.
so like oh my, it's delicious.
That's the only two. That's the only two cakes I eat is German chocolate.
They have a strawberry shortcake. It's just phenomenal.
Rum cake is cool. Carrot cake is cool.
No, but this Dr. Day, I'm telling you, when you go to New York,
Okay.
skirt, right to Junior's. What we got? Listen, Paul said I gotta try this cheesecake.
Junior's cheesecake. Okay.
Right, but they have different flavors though. So you can get plain, you can get strawberry,
Get lime.
you get. I think they have lime. I know they have pineapple. So I had a pineapple one for my birthday before, and I had a strawberry one before. I'm telling you.
I'll come for the pineapple one. I'll see. It better be everything in life.
I'm telling you.
Oh, it's good.
Listen. You gonna make a challenge. You gonna go. My brother ain't lie to me. I'm telling you, he didn't lie to me.
Like I'm gonna tell you, you gonna actually taste the difference between Cheesecake Factory and Junior's, and I love both of them.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm a
I love him
cheesecake-
equally.
Yeah, I love them equally. I'm a cheesecake connoisseur. That's the only cake I really eat. If I eat a cake, it's like the smallest slice of cake, but I get a cheesecake, it's like the biggest piece of cake.
I think for me, so I love eating so much. It's an experience every time I do it.
You're a food connoisseur?
To an extent. And it's interesting because I do have a food allergy. I'm allergic to peanuts. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Okay.
But I love to say, okay, we ate something new.
Right.
And I can give you the feedback on it.
Mhm.
And it's really cool, too, because my mom, she was a mystery shopper.
Mhm.
So she would have these, these gigs and these places to review. And she was like, okay, we're going to this place, and let me know what you think about this.
Right.
I was like, okay. That's life.
Favorite place to go on vacation?
Take me to the beach.
Okay, you want that beautiful tan.
Yes, I need to have a love affair with the sun.
I never heard that before.
Wow.
That is like the title for a R&B song. She said, what she said? Love with the sun.
affair.
Love affair with the sun. Oh, that's a book title.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like some
Love affair with the sun.
Them romance novels.
Right.
Man, it's interesting because, where I come from, it seemed perception-wise that, the lighter you were, the more of a trophy you were.
Oh,
to the
absolutely
men.
not.
Wait,
Okay. I'm just
Absolutely
telling you
not.
about where I was from.
Wait,
So
what city is this?
This is like Dayton, Youngstown, Cincinnati. This is there.
This is, because you have to realize the history of that area. So I'm from Kentucky. You have one
Louisville.
bridge.
Louisville.
Pick a city. I'm from there.
Okay.
All over.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Right. I
the only
drove
city I
trucks for
know.
10 years, so that's how I know, right? So I said Louisville, and no, in Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville. They said, we know you ain't from here. The way you saying it.
The Ville.
Right.
502 Jefferson County.
Shout
I
out.
was about to say 502. That's the only thing I knew.
But go ahead, finish.
So it seemed like, okay, those were the people that was winning.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, do I need to become darker? And now I'm like, oh, I want to be red.
Right.
I want the sun to love on me so much. You don't, all over. I need my tan to match.
Right. But you got the Kelly Rowlands that are like, your complexion is just super beautiful. Chocolate is beautiful. Like,
I just like how you said the Kelly Rowland.
Because I'm looking at her complexion, and I compared it to Kelly. It's like the same complexion. You see?
And it's funny because I'm probably going to run into her in life. It's like people keep trying to compare us, and I kind of don't see it, but then I kind of do. How you doing, girl?
Right.
It's the complexion.
Right. But the chocolate is beautiful.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out. Like, I don't understand why people always say chocolate women don't, show their beauty as enough. Or they beautiful for a dark skinned girl. I don't understand why people say that.
You know what I think it is, Brother Julius? Is the self-hate. So if you listen to like Vibes Cartel and like the Bleach and Cream song,
Oh my
So
God.
like white
I just thought
or
about
light. No, no, because you're trying to be European
Mm.
when you don't have to. You see, when you try, a lot of different cultures adapt to our culture and want to be us or take credit for things we've done. You see, so we don't have to change. You see, love yourself for who you are. It is what it is. It's just you have to find the right person to love you for who you are. You
Yeah,
dig?
because I always find dark skinned girls beautiful. I've been more scared of dark skinned girls than light skinned girls. And then I got older, but
It's
it's
how
been the
you
opposite.
it's how you treat all of them, right? Just from my personal experience, I'm not gonna generalize all the beautiful women. All I just feel every woman has a crazy switch in the back of their head.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can, it's all in how you treat the sister. You see, if you treat her like a queen and you treat her like Nefertiti, you're gonna be fine. But you make her go snap. You see,
And she go jinxie.
there you go.
It's interesting because I know also too younger
Mhm.
is I was under the uh,
Influence.
impression that money seemed to be something that was so fluid
Mhm.
and so easily accessible and something that was really of pride and of strength
Mhm.
within our European cultures.
Right.
And not that it necessarily made me want to hate myself, but it made me want to, I feel like, mimic either their mindset or
Mhm.
maybe I need to hang around more of them and become comfortable with them
Right.
because they've got something figured out as to why they have more than us in certain aspects. And that was just a younger
Okay.
mindset.
Right. 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 But for 400 years we've been oppressed, and it's been a wealth gap. We catching up now because we have sisters like you that go to college and share the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and things of that nature, right? So some of us are catching up, but it's gonna take us a long time, and then some of us just don't care. You see, you can't. That's why I see why some entertainers get the bag and then they just
dip.
leave, right? Or you see rappers get the bag and they move to Calabasas. You see, because you don't want to get killed on the west side. You don't want to get killed in the hood that you grew up in. You see, you. So I'm not mad. I used to be when I used to be in the hood. Yo, you nigga, you don't come back. You don't. But you don't owe us anything. See how I approach life now. No one owes me anything. So I'm going for broke. I'm going out for mine. So I'm not expecting anything in return or whatever. If you can open a door for me, gratitude. I'm appreciative or whatever, right? But you don't owe me anything. I don't have the entitlement. I don't. I'm not seeking reparations
Mm.
because if they was gonna come, it came already.
Yes, exactly. I
You
used
know,
to say that same
you
thing.
have to. If you was gonna admit fault, it already came.
But is it that I need to go so hard and get you to admit that you were wrong? Or do I need to put that same energy into letting you know how much better you should have won had you would just mess with me in the first place correctly? Like, to me, that I feel like that's the sweetest revenge.
Right.
Mhm.
So for my Caucasian or Anglo-Saxon brothers and sisters, I love them equally too. I got a team too. So they say, Paul, my right wing Republican friends. I have a gang of those too. You know, I don't have only Democrats in my cabinet. I have both. So they say, Paul, but I don't own slaves. But I said, but your ancestors did. You know, and somebody has to take accountability, and nobody wants to take accountability. So even if you gave us reparations, it's a group of us that say, Dr. Deja, it's not enough.
You're
That's
never
true.
satisfied.
You see, it's if you gave everyone $1 million, oh, you could have gave more. You killed more of us, so you can give us 40 million apiece. It's just, it's not gonna happen.
You better take your talents and stop, trying to just dig them in the ground. You're supposed to multiply 'em.
Right,
Take them and run.
right. The Candace Owens, right, and the sisters that's getting the backlash
Okay.
from the African American community. How do you feel about that?
Freedom of speech is real.
Okay.
Everybody is entitled to an opinion. Opinions are free.
Mhm.
And where you put your energy is where you put your energy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her speak in person.
Mm-hmm.
I get a feeling that there are some things that she genuinely believes. I'm going to let her live that life.
Right. That's her truth?
Right. That's her truth from her eyes or whoever it is that she needs to sell that to.
Okay.
But does it mesh with me and mine? But again, if I put the energy into hate, because what is Drake told us hate was what? Love and jealousy at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Or jealousy was love and hate at the same time, right? So I'm just all about preservation of energy, preservation of spirit, and I do have an expectation for all of mankind, and they're going to be human.
Do you feel some African Americans take positions in power to be pawns to move an agenda?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So some may take it because they rightfully earned it. That's what they wanted their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Others may take it because they are a part of somebody's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us, we lucked up into it.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
You will understand the motivation and intentions of somebody's moves quicker than you know.
Right. So, me and Corey was having this conversation in the gym, right? It's dope, right? So, he said, P, $250,000 a year, annually, you could come here. He said, 10 million a year, 25 million a year, you can't come here no more, right? Then he says, you would take the money, you know, the Comedy Central check, but I'm like, brother, well, wasn't that the agenda in the first place? Wasn't that the point? To get out of here, right? Yeah. For a better life. So how you gonna be mad at somebody? Like, you holding on to your morals and scruples
at
right?
the wrong time.
At the wrong time. I said every man has a legacy, right? So you can't have a legacy with no money. That's a poor man's legacy. You see, if wealthy men have it has a better impact when you have a lot of money. I can die and leave money to philanthropy or, Clark Atlanta or I can leave money to a college. So it's very important for me to obtain some wealth while I'm on this planet, right? So when I check out, I can take care of my wife, take care of my kids, take care of my grandkids, and give some money to medicine or to mental health or to education, to something that I believe in that we're lacking and we're behind the race. But I can't do this poor. That's why I had to cross over and sit down and talk to the Republicans and just see how you think. Agree to disagree, Dr. Desha. Not you're evil.
No, what?
You're evil.
Not at all. No, you need to understand all different types of perspectives, and we do ourselves a disservice when we don't step out of our community or our community's mindsets to understand how that works. If somebody who was really awesome at real estate, didn't take the time to understand what cryptocurrency or NFTs or what
ETFs,
all of that,
right?
What that would mean to their industry, they're going to set themselves up to not be either ahead of the curve or to miss out on an opportunity.
They're gonna fall back.
Right. Look at Toys R Us. My God.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Right.
Kodak.
And you know what's so sad about that?
Nokia. Yeah. Who would think, though? Who would think them companies would tank? Right? Go ahead, Brother Julius. I apologize. I don't want to hog up all the air.
No. You said everything, but what I was saying was it's sad that you had two companies that came to these major companies and they like, nah, fuck you, go on about your business. And then the companies that they say no to became the ones that they want to get a job from.
Because I'm the head of the board. I hold 51%, right? And I'm egotistical, and I'm an arrogant prick. And listen, it's my way or the highway, and I do the hiring and the firing. I never get fired. I never get punched in my face. Call security, take Dr. Desha's badge. Nothing right.
It don't work anymore.
Right. Clean out your office. Clean out your cubicle. So you one-track minded. Any good financial advisor would tell you diversify your portfolio.
Yes.
So you have to approach life in diversity. You just can't be closed-minded and not hit. Dr. Deja, how you feel about this? What is your input?
On everything.
Right. You see, she can have the $1 million idea, but if I sit there and just shelf her idea, right, that's leading into my next question. But if I shelf her idea, you got to have a boardroom full of great people, of brilliant people. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says, all the ideologies, but one thing I did dissect and took from him, he said, I don't have to be the smartest person in the world. I got to be able to hire the smartest people. So if I got the bag, I can hire labor. It doesn't matter. She has a master's, a PhD, and I'm going to hire some more people that got masters and PhDs, and we going to get this $1 billion. And we going to split this $1 billion, and we all going to get rich together. So I don't have to have I have to know who to get to build the car, right? You put the door on, she does the paint, I get somebody to do the interior, I go get somebody to do the engine, now we got the car.
I always say
right,
that,
and
bro.
she does the promotion.
I always say that. When Trump said that, I was like, oh my God, I'm glad somebody said it, but people
Right.
didn't pay attention.
Right. Has corporate America ever regretted not taking your decision? You came with the proposal, and they said no, and then they later along kicked themselves in the behind and said, damn, we should have went with Dr. Deja.
They have,
Okay.
but they'll never admit it to me.
I'll
I'll hear it from middle management, or it'll show up in a promotion somewhere.
Right.
And then, when somebody on their team reaches out to me a few years later or whatever, it's like, well, we didn't really do what we were supposed to do.
Right.
And that's okay. But now I have to tax you this time around.
Ooh, that's right. That's right. Have you ever had to have to compete with another sister to get ahead?
Yeah.
I don't like that about corporate America.
At times,
Okay.
you may have to, but honestly, I'm competing with myself at this point.
Right.
And I don't want to use the phrase "what's for me is for me" to sound cliche, but there's enough success to be had with anybody. And so I genuinely wish everybody, success in what they're going to do. And if I want it, I'll find a way to get it or get to it.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Right. So, me entering this entertainment industry, you feel I have to be cutthroat?
So be careful who you cut, because when they cut back,
right,
can you take all those wounds?
I pull out the Mussolini. I pull out the Prince. I pull out the Machiavelli on them. I gotta go in that trick bag, go get the Machiavelli out.
And you notice how those people live and how they die.
Right. Jay-Z said it the best. It's a quote. He said, "All great kings end up with their head cut off."
Yeah.
It's a Basquiat painting, right? Everybody has a reign. Everybody has a rise and everybody has a set, so. But you can't go through life expecting everybody to be your friend either, Dr. Deja.
Not at all. And that broke my heart. Being a fan of Barney and Imagination, and he loves everybody. But then I realized everybody doesn't need to be my friend because the return on investment doesn't make sense.
Right.
And in an effort to preserve peace and energy, nope.
Gotcha. Favorite cartoon?
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Why are you asking me things that I feel like I have lists for? Well, so it's funny. Things like Big Mouth or Boondocks or all that stuff kind of still, it catches me. It makes me pay attention.
Controversial stuff.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, those the best cartoons.
But, I think about just even Space Jam.
Okay.
Like, I can't wait for the next one to come out. Because I genuinely was like, oh, I love basketball.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay.
You love watching basketball or you love playing basketball?
Both. I want to get really good so that I can end up playing for an all-star game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Celebrity all-star?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Put me in the game, coach.
That's right. I can see you WNBA.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Right.
I'm here for it.
That's what's up.
I got to see your dribble skills.
Look, I'm that person. You know, it's funny. It's like I like to compete and I like to get better. And growing up, I didn't necessarily have the means to play on a team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like wherever I could find a basketball court, that's what it was. But I naturally always wanted to play basketball.
You ever dated somebody and did the love of basketball thing?
He's so funny. You talking about
Like
the ending?
reenacting?
The whole ending.
Yeah.
Possibly,
That's
but
so funny.
the happily ever after story hasn't ended.
Okay.
So I may have met him a time or two, but
Gotcha.
here we are.
Entertainment industry or non-entertainment industry? Dating.
You know what? You are not supposed to crap where you work. You're not supposed to. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's so funny because I have to break quite a few different hearts and let them know that, hey, business needs to be done.
Right. So is it wrong to cross over?
I don't think it's wrong. I think that your boundaries.
Okay.
Make sure you understand that and understand that person's intentions.
Right.
For me, I require that I am a priority.
Gotcha.
I require, what is it? My love languages are, physical touch and acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain things that let me know that this is what it is.
You need tender love and care. You need pampering. Right.
Sorry, not sorry.
Gotcha. But no, those are your boundaries, like you just said. You see, and then women in your profession, it's very intimidating for some men.
You keep using that word. That's so funny to
It's
me.
the truth. No, listen. This applies to you and other women. You know, it's a lot of, including you. It's a lot of bosses, a lot of CEO women that wear big hats and make substantial amounts of money and obtain substantial amounts of wealth, and the man's like, what do I have to offer to you?
A lot.
But a lot of women, they set the bar so high, and you have to have this, and you have to have that, and and this and that, and it's me and you could work out, but it's when I get amongst your peers.
Well, you aren't gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're competing with somebody's perception of themselves.
Right.
And you also have to put it back on that person and say, okay, you're requiring dime status things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in a position to be that as well?
Right.
And so I love my sisters and my success and go-getters, but you can't require a man with a six-pack if you...
Not in the gym.
Yeah.
You can't require that he does this trip or take you to this restaurant. Okay?
This is the double standard that I see, Dr. Desha, right? So, with your money, you buy Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Right? But why I can't take you to Chick-fil-A? You see? No, I mean, it's not that I won't take you to Ruth Chris. It's not that, right? But where's the anniversary? Right? What is the special occasion, right? So I might not even like you, and you might not even like me. So why even waste the time? Why we just can't have a cup of coffee and we build? And then you say, all right, I enjoy his conversation, or I don't, right? Instead of we going back and forth texting and FaceTiming and wasting each other's time, and then we end up and we don't like each other. And it's all right. We're just not compatible, right? I wish you the best in your endeavors and likewise, right? But sit there, I'm wine and dining and wine and dining and wine and dining, and then you don't even like me. Yeah. You just shout for me. You got me in the friend zone.
The effort to be a girlfriend and the effort to deal with somebody for short or monetary gains is the same type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, nobody deserves to be strung along.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your real intent for being with this person?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people are being very transparent and honest about that on both sides.
Right.
So if you're really just wanting a trophy experience,
mm-hmm.
then yeah.
You get what you pay for. Pay like you weigh.
Come on now.
Right.
But
Goodness.
if you really want something that has substance, that needs to be evident not only in your conversation, but even as to how we spend time together.
Mhm.
So Netflix and chilling,
Mhm.
that doesn't really scream to me that you are looking for a lifelong partner to chill with, and that's the first time we spend time together.
Right.
Wait, devil advocate again.
Go ahead, chime in, devil's advocate. Chime in.
Sometimes you know what, Netflix and chills is a start of a great relationship.
It can be,
Right.
but it doesn't scream.
I want a relationship.
Right, we're chilling.
Right.
I can watch movies. If what I can do with you, I can do with a girlfriend.
Right.
Or my doggy.
Right.
Right.
And I want men to be a little bit more creative.
Okay.
With how they date and how they get to know people.
Mhm.
And maybe you'll end up with different results.
Right. So how about we go to the park and play ball?
Let's do it. I got a ball in the trunk.
You see? See? She said be creative. She said be creative. See that Netflix? Everybody got $13.99. You ain't getting nowhere with the brother.
I know, right?
Right. That stimulus, $13.99 with a $1,400 stimulus check. You could pay a lot of Netflix. You could stretch that out. You know? Dr. Desha, I feel people don't know what they want.
Of course, because they don't know who they are, and they're not being honest about it.
Right.
Damn it.
So the sooner that we get to that, as soon as we get over that identity crisis,
Mhm.
and we're very comfortable in who we are. Here's the cool thing about like your ace metaphors. I know we're putting Derek in the doghouse this month,
Mhm.
but my guy ace metaphor, he tells us from the gate. He says, "I used to be that guy. I used to be that bad guy."
Mhm.
So now when he comes back and says, "This is what a bad guy looks like," it's because I've played the role. I've been honest to America and all of my followers about it. And so if he got married tomorrow and cheated, we wouldn't be as surprised.
But you know what's so funny about this? He actually told on himself before.
I'm gonna add on, but guy. So Dr. Deja, this is how I feel about it, right?
I didn't think the man was married.
No, he told on himself before, and he said, if I made a mistake with my wife, I have to tell her. So he was telling us, well, I don't watch the guy, but he was telling y'all women.
Look. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Guy.
No, I'm saying he was telling the women, but they didn't see it. And then
Subliminally, indirectly.
Yeah, he's saying it indirectly.
So Dr. Deja, this is how it goes from your brother's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Not from no other place, right? All men cheat, but just not on every woman.
Bingo. We was talking about that the other day.
Okay, so always if you called me and you in a relationship and you just not understanding, right? So I'm gonna break down some factors why I would cheat. I'm gonna just speak for myself,
Sure.
right? But this is like past and present, right? So it's lack of.
Okay.
Okay. So it can be I'm egotistical, right? I'm feeling like I'm God's gift to earth. It could be from the bros. It could be influence from them, right? Or it could be I'm dealing with an like your wife is a trophy piece, and she's always or the chick that you with, she's always telling you how much it's a privilege to be with her. She's so bad, she's so gorgeous. Every man will be with her, and all of that. So you get tired of hearing that. You see, like being with you is a privilege.
It is.
Instead of is equal. You see? So you say, okay, I'm gonna cheat on you. Because you get tired of hearing it. Or you get tired of arguing. I've cheated because I was just in a toxic relationship. And then have you want to title her mistress, side woman, she has an ear. She'll sit and she'll listen. But it's like she's like the Black Widow. She came, she saw, she's gonna conquer. She's very, I'm not gonna use nostalgic, but she's very patient, right? Precise, and she's a sniper. And she's just gonna wait and wait until wifey slips up, and then she's gonna claim her title.
Shoot to kill. Let's
Right,
go.
right. Cutthroat. Now I've been that dude too. I've been the friend and I'm consulting you, and you boo-hooing, and why did you do this to me? And I'm a good woman, and I'm faithful, and right, I've been the shoulder to cry on, and then end up with your woman. You see, I just, I didn't know that I went from friend zone to lover. So it goes both ways.
You see how?
Wait, was that better? Wait, oh sorry.
Yeah.
Was that better when you went from friend to lover?
No, it was better when you go from friend to lover. Like you go from best friend to lover.
Yeah.
Like I wanna be with my best friend. I don't want to be with somebody I'm competing with all the time.
That's true.
You see? Because in life, I can be up and you can be up. You see? Nothing's guaranteed. You see? Your wife can get cancer and you're going to leave her? Exactly. She can get sick. She can go through a bad pregnancy. Postpartum depression. She doesn't snap back. It's a million things a female can go through. But you have to be her soulmate. You have to be there through thick, through thin, regardless. Right? And you will want that back in return. You lose the contract, the $1 million contract you had, or 6-figure contract. Is she still going to be there? You want to ride or die. So, for me, it's better when you have, like, the bestie. You see? It doesn't always have to be. You can get along in the bedroom. That's easy. You can learn things, right? But can you get along at a dinner table, right? Can she cook? Can you cook? Things like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather the best friend, because I'm not going to love you. It's just lust.
That's true.
I think it's interesting that what you talked about comes from a more psychological place.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't even mention, okay, so-and-so has the fatter, fleshly part.
No.
Or, the hair was a certain length.
Of course not.
It was internal.
Yeah.
It was mental.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the honesty in that.
What do you think all men should be like, man, her butt wasn't big?
See, let me elaborate in more detail for you, Dr. Desha.
Sure.
I'm
here for all the lessons.
So, the fine derriere, right? I'm in my trick bag right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm digging. You know what I'm saying? My sister educated. I gotta go pull out the Oxford dictionaries.
Hilarious.
So, a big butt is not gonna stop me from cheating. Okay, so good sex is temporary satisfaction.
Guaranteed.
Okay, so is when you finish, it's like, can I stand your ass?
Right. When you roll over and
Right.
you put your hot breath on me.
Right. You see? Or you like, I just wish she would shut up.
Yeah, I had one of those.
When you first meet them, they be so quiet and observant and just listening and just soaking up everything. And then 90 days, 6 months later, you like, I can't get this to shut up.
Tell you, just talking about nothing.
You know what? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna say one thing I dislike. Right. So, if I'm on the phone with you all day, all night, all day, all night, every hour, on the hour, right? And then I get home and then you like, honey, how was your day? Right? You know everything. Probation officer, I gave you an update. I mean, you dig? What do you mean? Even if I'm doing Uber, right? You want to know my customers? Say hi to my wife, because she thinks I'm cheating. Right? And you better tip her. Please tip her. Listen, she has the Cash App. She has all my money. Right? Like, what more do you want? You listen, where are you? Where's my iPhone? Look, you know where I'm at. So don't ask me where am I at. You know? Why are you in Blue Flame? How do you know I'm at Blue Flame? I'm tracking your iPhone. You should be a detective. You should work for the police.
I know, right?
You know? Something's different about you, Paul. Something's different about you. Why are you putting all that makeup on? You ain't put that Chanel on in 5 years. Why are you putting that Chanel on? You know?
She going to the grocery store.
Exactly. She about to get it in the Kroger's parking lot.
I know, right?
With your replacement.
Right, a security dude Driving around that little golf cart.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm telling you.
When Tyler Perry had that movie that came out, was that Sanaa Lathan that cheated on the husband?
With the construction dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's been so many amount of days. He was like, I could tell. I was like, oh. But what I notice is that, especially gentlemen, when they are sincerely really into you, that is a real thing. They really do notice every little thing about you and
Absolutely.
they appreciate it. So the fact that he said that, I was like,
So, I oh honey, your hair looks nice. Oh honey, your nails look nice. Honey, that's different, you know. So you have to know if you have clothes with tags on them, and now you coming in with different bags. You see. See, the problem with relationships is you have your own credit cards and I have my own credit cards, and people can hide money.
Yeah.
Or go shopping, you see? Or have another change of clothes in the car.
come on now, that's what we used to do in school.
You know? Or, you know, you got two phones. You got one phone under the spare tire and condoms. You know?
Condoms too.
You see, I've been a cheater. See, I approach the world and I say, hi, my name is Paul and I have problems. You see, I've been on both sides of the coin. I've calmed down a lot. See, I've cheated and I've been cheated on. So that's why I stopped. I'm not a good liar. At all. I'm bluntly honest. You cheating on me? Yup.
It's like, why? It's just unnecessary, dude. Go.
No, why you cheating on me, Paul? I'm sick and tired of you saying I'm tired and I have a headache. You know, you started off sexually active, then you became celibate. No.
Damn.
You understand? Your burlesque license, what happened to your stripper license? You didn't renew it? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, what's going on? I just don't understand.
That's crazy, bro.
But it happens.
It does.
You see, a lot of females, not all, I'm not going to generalize all my sisters, some of them like to chase. That's why some women go after married men. It's a chase thing. So once it's fulfilled.
Or if they ain't married, it's just a good looking guy that you know a lot of women have.
Listen, no one wants somebody that somebody else doesn't want.
That's true.
Because Dr. Desha included, it's a million beautiful women in Atlanta, right? So you sit there and say, but sister, why are you single? I don't understand. You see? So maybe their expectations are too high. You see, or they say, Paul, you gay? What? You see, because they probably dated somebody that's gay or been bisexual. You know, it's a lot of.
Look at me. No.
Oh shit, brother Julius, is something you have to tell us.
Everybody
she looked
has,
at me and I'm like, what?
So mentally in my mind, I was just thinking that I personally believe that everybody has at least 3 options to choose from. It may not be the person that you want to call, but everybody, and that's even if you are, you know, you're God-fearing, conservative, you have an option.
Right.
And it's whether or not you choose to exercise them.
Right.
So people are like, oh, you know, you're not single, you're not married. Didn't really put the energy into either of those things, but we all have options.
Right.
I don't get it. Why would somebody think somebody gay because they single? I never thought that.
It's just like when I see some females, it's just assumptions, and
Like,
I say, ooh, you gotta have a boyfriend, or I approach the conversation like, oh, your man is a lucky man, right? And then you like, what?
I don't have a man.
Right. And you're like, why not? You crazy or something?
He will be looking.
You know?
You know, I never used that line before.
It works. On some women. Sometimes.
I think if women had to try as many pickup lines and tactics that you all do, I think we'd have more experience in asking for what we want.
Right.
I'm gonna throw in something.
Mm-hmm.
I notice a lot of black women do not really approach, but
that's not true.
Wait, no, they do. And when they do, they normally. If I get approached by a woman, she really not with her friends. She's in a different world. She with them. She in a different world. Or she by herself.
Okay, so it's how you accept the approach, right? So I was on my way here one day, and I had one, and she was just overly aggressive.
Yeah, she wanted the dick now.
What the fuck, right? So I don't have a problem with a sister knowing what she want. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem. It doesn't intimidate me to know the sister's confident. It doesn't at all. So it's all right with me. You see, is this how I look at it? Okay. If you have a one night stand with somebody, you can assume they do that with everybody else, or is you just got lucky. It's just your time. You just that dude, and the energy was right, and she just wanted you. She chose you for that second or that moment, right? Or you could be insecure and be like, who you do this with? Where you learn how to do this? You see, who taught you how to do
It's
this?
a contact sport.
Right? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're all 30 plus, right? It doesn't matter. You see? I don't Your history, it really doesn't matter who you was with at 19. Who cares? Okay, like the picture of the dude that was with Beyonce.
Oh yeah,
Nigga. Oh my goodness. I hate to be him. I'd have committed suicide. God.
But were you really gonna rise to the Jay-Z occasion? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause she's definitely not that same person.
I mean,
Man.
she had a grown Jay-Z had a grown her anyway, so.
It's like
Ditto.
what's the chick that dated Kanye?
The first one when he came out of college.
No, the
What was that
Amber Rose. Amber Rose I'm talking about.
Oh.
So Amber Rose is still having interviews about dating Kanye. A decade ago. This doesn't even make any sense to me. She's like, oh, he's still talking about me. He still loves me. Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
She lying too.
It's like clickbait. You see, like, I would say, Dr. Deja, I wish you the best. You understand? I enjoy our company. I enjoyed our time. I wish her the best in her endeavors. That's it. But you sitting there still talking about how he took you on trips around the world 10 years ago. Them passports are old. Like, you had to get new passports
I know,
now.
right? After 5 years.
Right.
But does she get away with it because he's still a trending topic?
That's probably what it is.
That's why.
It's clickbait. You see?
Nobody asked her about Wiz.
Right.
I was watching an interview. Huh? She was with 21 Savage. She said that was the worst heartbreak. I was like, I already know. That nigga brought her to Atlanta, left her in the hotel.
You know what?
She had money to go fly.
No. Listen. If we both have money, it doesn't matter. You see, if men are sliding in Dr. Deja's DM and women are sliding in my DM all the time, you see, I have to be comfortable and appreciative with her being and say she's just the one. I have somebody and I'm grateful, and I don't have eyes for no one else. You see, that's what it has to be. It has to come down to that. You see, the flesh is weak, so you're always gonna find somebody that looks better than your mate, right? It's just common sense. Or somebody has more money or social status. That's common. It's normal, right? But are you content and just happy? You know, I love your macaroni and cheese. You see? I don't want no one other woman in this world. You know, mama, she make better macaroni and cheese than you. You see? Or she fry better chicken than you. She's my wife or whatever. You see? And that's it. You gotta be happy with your first lady. You dig? And no one comes second to your first lady and never make her feel second to none. Or she has to compete with other women. You see? Jay-Z with Beyonce's Queen of Sheba. Like, you know? He talks about his wife all the time. Kevin Gates talks about his lady. You just have to, my wife is dope, my girlfriend's dope, and I'm happy.
I think too there is a responsibility for us to understand that we have to be whole by ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's not my job to complete you. You're not an app. You're not a download. Not a test.
Mm-hmm. You know why I agree with that? Because that's what Kevin Gates' wife said. Mm-hmm. She said we gotta love ourselves first. Right. That's her name. Mm-hmm. Like, she said that, and she was telling, like, I guess she was on live or something, but I remember somebody posted it, and it was like an insert, so it was like a little short clip, and she said everything that I always want a woman to say. Like, I want to be with him if I didn't know myself. I feel
men shouldn't get in relationships if, like, settle down so to speak, if your sexual appetite hasn't been fulfilled. You see, because I'm with you. I want my cake and eat it too. So I'm with you, and I'm still lusting. If it makes any sense, it goes for women too. I just don't want to have my sisters look like promiscuous women. I'm not gonna do that today. You understand?
But does the drug addict ever get fulfilled?
It can, but but that's why we come to Dr. Desha for rehabilitation.
I'm gonna recommend you somebody.
Right. You see?
That's funny.
I mean, it's some people that have sex addictions, that nympho, and then you have to find somebody to match that. You dig? So if you with how can I say, a plain Jane, you see a religious sister or whatever, I'm not into that. It's not gonna work. Or if the sister has a sexual appetite and you don't fulfill it, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You see, it's just not gonna work. That's something to add, Brother Julius.
No, I was listening to you, bro. That was a nice analogy.
So, right. Listen, I've been around the world and yeah.
Damn.
But I live in my truth. I don't sit there.
That's the best address.
You dig? I don't sit there and try to whitewash it. But I'm not sitting here being arrogant in it, or trying to toot my own horn, Like, I don't care about the notches under the belt. It doesn't matter. You see? But I've learned so much through the years, dating older women, dating younger women. The dope thing about dating older women is this, right? The bad side is they can't have children. But I'm going to tell you the plus in it, right? So older women been through the shit already. They've been dragged. They've been emotionally destroyed, right? They just need somebody to confide in them, to live. What happened, sister?
Oh, I'm fine. Keep going.
Confide
in them.
Right? They need somebody to listen to them, right? They need somebody to travel with them, right? They just can't have children. That's the dilemma you always face. They have children. They have grandchildren, right? Don't beat on them. Don't cheat on them. It's beautiful. Now, dating a young woman, right? You have to keep them up, so to speak. They keep themselves up. They're independent. They hate their own money, right? But they want you. Some of them, they want you to fulfill the VH1 or MTV lifestyle. You see, if I'm making $32,000, $40,000 a year, like, how can you even fathom me talking about me buying you this Birkin bag, sister? Like, you see?
She wants you to save up for that whole year.
What? You ain't got no money in your IRA.
We gotta put our stimmies together.
You dig?
Still ain't enough though.
We could have bought you a Louis bag. Now you talking about Birkin bag. We could have, you don't want the Coach bag. What? You see? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's not enough millionaires to go around. It's not.
Unless you become one.
There you go. Or can we become a power couple?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You see, a lot of times they want the IKEA bed already assembled. You see? It's easier when you just bring your clothes and that's it. You see? Because the system is already in place. You see? The wealth has already been created.
Yeah.
You don't want to build it together.
That's the saddest thing right now, especially in the black community. It's hard to find that in the black community.
It's insecurity on both sides, right? So, say I meet a have-not. It's easy for a man to get a have-not. It's hard to get a have and hold on to it. Okay? Because people are so afraid to losing what they obtained. Right? I worked too hard getting this degree. I worked too hard getting this house. I worked too hard with this bank account. I worked too hard, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So you get a have-not that never had nothing, and then you build her up. She's not used to anything. You see? So she'll show her ass in a minute. The analogy I'm gonna use is like you see these rappers with the money, that's flashing the money. In my hood, they say, nigga, you frame with your re-up money.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't have. That's all the money. My mother used to say that's all the money he got.
On his arm.
Right. So I approached Sister Desha. Hey, shorty, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm out here getting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking care of you, and I flash the money.
Okay.
You see where I'm going with this, sister?
And I'll be like, what's your credit score? Where are your assets? What have you read today?
Right.
Did you work out?
Right. No real estate portfolio. No stock portfolio.
How's your health? How's your sugar levels?
What? Hey, I got drink on that. I got double cup.
Orange juice, right?
No. Skirt.
Kombucha? No? Okay. Smoothie? So, gentlemen, on my end, we are having a phenomenal conversation.
You have to go?
I have to do a business pitch.
Understand. Thank you for coming. You're more than welcome to come back if you have any products or services you want to pitch. Tell the people how can they contact you.
Sure. So Instagram, DRDESHA, Dr. Desha. Again, your favorite problem solver. Coming up, I have the Rose Fest Music Festival that I'm project lead over in LA.
Okay.
Orange County on April the 24th. So that's my next upcoming project. So
Good luck.
stay tuned. Thank you.
All right. You now been tuned into the Paul Kinebrew Show. Until next time. Out of here. You out of here.